views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hola, everyone. Welcome to Open, the one and only show bringing the best of the Bronx, New York, and the world straight to you. I'm Rhina Valentin, your hosty Café con Leche every Friday. Here's what's coming up in today's show. Leading things off, we'll give you some spooky, funny events for you and the family to enjoy in our special Halloween edition of Open Weekend Preview. After that, we'll hear about Crimson City, a new vampire TV series set in New York City, which is a unique story involving broken vampire treaty featuring an urban cast and an all-female producing team. And then we'll sit down with photographer Sofie Vasquez to discuss her latest project, Bronx Wrestling, a collection showcasing the wrestling scene and culture within the Bronx community. Plus, we'll find out about the second annual Concourse Film Festival that features different film genres, music, videos, commercials, and more taking place right here in the BX. Later on in the show, Bobby C brings us an up-to-date with the latest headline in the world of sports. And lastly, we'll be joined by Magician Benjamin Mei, who's gonna perform some cool magic tricks for us at the end of the show. Trust me, you're not gonna wanna miss that. So sit back y prepárate. All this and more is headed your way because now we are officially open. Hello and welcome to Open. I'm Rhina Valentin, aka Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, your hosty Café con Leche for the next hour. Always inviting you to get social with us online. That is, tweet us and follow us on Instagram at BronxNet TV or like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And of course, while you're there, don't forget, follow moi on Twitter, FB, Instagram, Insta Stories, LinkedIn, and Snapchat at Rhina Valentin. So it's the Halloween weekend, that's right. And we have some festive but yet spooky events for you all to enjoy. So make sure you get your pen and papers out because it's now time for our Halloween edition of Open Weekend Preview. The Bronx River Art Center is holding its Halloween Community Art Workshop, and Bronxites are encouraged to come in their costumes and participate in the different art workshops from October 25th till October 31st. They'll also have a haunted house open for trick-or-treating, and that's happening from 3 to 8 p.m. And to register for these art classes, please make sure to visit Eventbrite Halloween Community Art Workshop, or call 718-589-5819. And, it's the 34th annual New South Bronx Halloween Parade, and this year's theme is Tim Burton. The event will take place this Saturday, October 26th, beginning at noon, and friends and family will be able to dress up in their costumes and enjoy the festivities. The parade will start at Simpson Street between East 163rd Street and Westchester Avenue, and people will be able to march their way to Fox Streets in front of St. Athanasius Church. And, of course, there's going to be lots of candy and cash prizes for the best participants. And for more information on the parade, visit Eventbrite, 34th Annual South Bronx Halloween Parade, or you can always call 718-328-9125. The Point CDC and DM Production is hosting a public art gallery highlighting 6 Bronx-based artists, and the theme of the gallery is Spirits of the Bronx. The art displayed will represent the spirit and mythology that surrounds communities and cultures in the Bronx. The event will take place Saturday, October 26th from 8 p.m. to 12 noon at the Point Riverside campus, located at 1391 Lafayette Avenue. And for more information, please visit thepoint.org. Next, we have the original Bronx Haunted House for you and your friends to experience. That's right, it's a 3-in-1 house that's creative and interactive for everyone to explore. And well, it's filled with mazes, traps, and monsters, making it fun and a scary experience for everyone to enjoy. The Bronx Haunted House is located at 1197 Bryant Avenue, and for tickets, you can visit eventbrite.com and type in a Bronx Haunted House. Lastly, the biggest Halloween event you certainly don't want to miss is, of course, the 2019 New York's Village Halloween Parade. This extravaganza is filled with music, costumes, and unforgettable fun. It takes place on Halloween Day, and that's beginning at 7 p.m. till 11 p.m. It'll run up 6th Avenue from Spring Street to 16th Street in Manhattan. And for more information, you can visit halloween-nyc.com. All right, we have to take a quick break, but make sure you get your Halloween spirit in gear, because there's certainly plenty for you to get out and enjoy. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Chiru has no choice. She and millions like her walk miles a day for dirty water. But together, we can end their walk by providing clean water close by. Instead of spending hours walking to get water that makes them sick, girls can be in a classroom, and moms will gain back time to care for their families. Sons and daughters can grow up strong, finally free of sicknesses. It's true. When you just add water, you change a life. Learn more at worldvision.org.
Welcome back to Open, everyone. So, Crimson City. Crimson City. We're not talking about my wardrobe. Actually, it's an upcoming show that tells the story of a vampire hunter that flees New York City, flees to New York City to escape the life of killing the dead with a modern-styled storyline. The show is produced by an all-female team, which we love. And guess what? We're going to take a sneak peek of Crimson City. joining us to share more about the upcoming series, Crimson City, we have Executive Director Jennifer Quaglio and actors Robert Peter Paul and Anthony O'Connell. Hello and welcome.
Hello.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
So excited.
Oh, we're excited that you're here on our Halloween edition.
Yes.
Okay, so Jennifer.
Yes.
You're the executive director.
I
or
am
the executive producer.
I am the executive producer, the writer, director, and I also play Maddie Sanders.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
What is that? Like a quadruple threat?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. You know, the first thing that turned me on about the whole thing is that it's an all-female produced
Right.
production,
Yeah.
right? And so that right there, and then of course we have male actors. That was okay.
We're there. Yeah,
No,
we're
it was in my own head. The joke was in my own head. So I do want to acknowledge you for bringing some Halloween themed. Well, yeah, it's related to your show. I am curious to know what you're dressed as.
I'm from Riverdale right now. Jughead Jones. Yeah. A little wig action going on.
I love it. I love it.
I thought you guys were going to come with fangs.
Well, I think some people might have bought the fangs, but I play like a normie, a human on the show, so I didn't go there.
Oh, got it. All right, well, let's share with our viewers a little bit about it.
Yeah.
I love the modern twist on it, and I love that, you know, the millennials are going to be able to really relate to this one, at least
They
from
will.
New York. Right.
Oh,
So
they
let's
will.
share with everyone.
Yeah, so the pilot follows the story of Maddie Sanders. She's a vampire hunter. She does flee to New York to start over, and on her first day of work in the Big Apple, she accidentally breaks a vampire treaty. And so when she does, it pits the two covens. We have the Lower East Side Vampire Coven, who hunt their prey on Vinder and Freak Match. And then we have the bougie Upper East Side Coven, who only drink blood sourced from Italy. And so we have them.
I love the fact that one gets it from apps and the other one is like,
Yep.
oh, bougie.
They love their Italian
You must have
food.
it imported.
Finest
In wine
in Italy.
glasses, no less.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it pits them against each other for power over the city, and then you have the normies who are just working, you know, their best corporate life 9 to 5, and they have no idea what's going on in the city.
Right, kind of sounds like New York,
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
Real life.
We're operating on
Yeah.
autopilot. All right, so let's talk about the cast. And I see we have two actors here. Let's just share with
Yes.
everyone your roles. So you
Sure.
said you play a normal person.
Yes.
Is there such a thing?
Well, that's true. I'm definitely not a normal person in real life.
Okay.
But
Thanks for sharing.
just so everyone knows. But I play Asher, who is this IT guy at Maddie's office.
Yeah.
He's definitely a goofy, awkward person, so I kind of immediately related to the character, and I was like, I'm in! Although he's not a vampire or anything sort of supernatural, we do see something in the pilot that kind of alludes to the fact that maybe he's not exactly what he seems. So I don't know if I can spoil anything. but-
Okay. Oh no,
Spoilers.
suspense.
Yeah, we don't
suspense.
wanna
You can leave it
spoil.
there. I like the teaser.
Yeah.
And you?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Anthony.
Hi,
O'Connell.
Anthony. Sorry.
I'm
like,
playing.
and you, Anthony. Yeah, Anthony.
I'm playing Josh, who is like the man. You know, to what everyone thinks or the way he seems. You know, he's the jock. You know, he's that type of guy. But he has secrets that everyone on the outside don't know about. And the thing with him is he puts on this like facade. He wears a mask. Like, I mean, we all do
Right,
in life.
right.
You know, I'm on my way here. I'm driving. I'm completely different than I am right now.
Right.
You know, that's how he is all the time, putting up this act. You know, the watch, the jacket, the varsity jacket. You know, he's the sports guy. He gets all the girls. But what's really going on at home? What's going on in his mind? You know, what are those hidden regrets or demons that he has locked up that nobody else gets to know about? And are they going to be unleashed at some point?
Oh my gosh, he sounds like a
Ooh.
trailer.
So complex.
I'm like, dun, dun, dun. Well, the truth is that I like what you said because it kind of does relate to all of us in our real world, right? In our real life. And
Right.
so but except in the show, you're actually portraying demons
Yeah.
or relating to actual demons in physical form. And then, of course, we've got our own version of a vampire slayer here who works in an office and is like hunting down. It looked like you were in Coney Island over there, girl.
We were.
Yeah, I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
so. I was like,
We
of
were.
course they went to Coney
Oh, yeah.
Island.
It's where all the vampires roam.
That's where a lot of things are.
Amusements galore.
Amusement score. I like that. So where are you with this series? First of all, how many pieces are interested in producing? Like, I know a series can run anywhere from 8 to 13
Yeah.
episodes. So how many episodes are you aiming to produce?
So right now we have kind of 6 fleshed out for the most part. I would love it to be a 10-episode series, but we're looking, right now we're crowdfunding for the first pilot episode, and as you said, we do have a female-led team. We have 5 female producers and a team of 12 altogether, mostly female identifying. So it's really cool. So we're really gunning for hopefully a 10-episode series in the future.
So what kind of cast are we looking at? How many people altogether?
Well, there's 21 speaking roles, and yeah, so writing this, honestly, I really wanted to go with a very diverse cast because I believe it's very important that, different people's voices are heard. It's not just one color, one gender, one size, one, sexual orientation, that it's everyone. So if someone's watching it, they could really see themselves, in the show and relate to a character.
Oh my gosh, I'm so looking forward to seeing a Mexican vampire.
Yeah.
No, just just like loving and something. Like I just got a
call
whole
you.
visual. Well, mine would be Puerto Rican, but
okay.
I'll play Mexican. I'm down for whatever Latino role. No, but I just got a visual of like that, and then maybe a Muslim vampire. That's like really that would be. But I don't know if that would be offending.
Well, yeah, you don't see
the religion.
You don't, but that's the thing you don't see, especially with the vampire genre. Writing this, I was like, well, what's missing? Well, New York City is a melting pot, but besides that, what is missing in a lot of mainstream, TVs, and for us, it's really representing women and underrepresented minority groups, in the film industry, which we don't really get to see a lot. So.
Yeah, I love it. I love that it's all women producing too.
Female power.
That gets me excited.
Yeah.
And so, how was that taking orders from women?
Yeah, how was that?
Well, I think it's incredible. That was actually one of the things that drew me to wanting to be a part of it. Besides, when you read the script, it's just so much fun. You read it in like 3 seconds because you can't stop. But Jen really did a great job at sort of busting these stereotypes and gender norms and like kind of just putting it all in this beautiful, really fun package. So while you're watching it, you're not necessarily like blasted over the head with these new ideas and things she's trying to put out there. But it's such a great ride. So I think I can speak for all of us. Like when I say, I don't know, women running the show, it's a lot better.
Right. Well, we appreciate
I'm so
you
happy.
saying so.
Yeah.
We're happy that you're happy. Around the world, girls.
Literally.
Yeah, I was listening to Destiny's Child on the way here this morning, so pumped.
Well, congratulations to you, and good luck. It
Thank
looks
you
like
so much.
you guys are already having a lot of fun, so I'm sure this is going to be a really fun journey for you all. And definitely keep us posted, and definitely give me a call if you need me. You guys, for more information on the series or to make a contribution to making this project, be sure to visit CrimsonCityTheSeries.com. We're taking a quick break, but when we return, we'll hear about the wrestling scene in the BX. You don't want to miss that.
Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
And I can't change, even if I try, even if I wanted to. My love, my love, my love, she keeps me warm. 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 She keeps me warm.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Bueno, hello, and welcome back to Open. You know, we're always inviting you to get social with us. That's right. Tweet us at BronxNet TV, and while you're there, tweet me too at Rhina Valentin, and let me know what you think about Carmen San Diego. All right, our next guest is a photographer who was born and raised in the Bronx, who uses her talents to explore narratives focusing on identity, community, and culture. Her work has been featured in the New York Times and exhibited at the Bronx Museum of the Arts, the Bronx Documentary Center, and the Ecuadorian American Cultural Center in Queens. And today she's here to talk about her latest project, Bronx Wrestling, a series of photographs highlighting the wrestling scene and culture within the Bronx community. Please welcome Sofie Vasquez. Hello.
Hello, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. How are you?
So I didn't introduce you as an Ecuadorian American, but because, you know, it's kind of like, hey, you're born and raised in the Bronx, and the Bronx is all about the multicultural, right? And so, but just share with us a little bit about what that's been for you. Being of, what are you, second generation?
I consider myself second generation. My parents did come here when they were very young, but really New York raised them. And so I've always had this interesting relationship of feeling more New York than Ecuadorian. My grandma's really what kept the Ecuadorian essence alive.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how I've always navigated my identity and what I explore throughout art forms, through photography, even filmmaking. And that's kind of been the gist of exploring it.
Right, and then hence comes the identity component. And the only reason I want to mention that is because while we are going to be talking about the Bronx wrestling, I was able to visit your website, and I saw these lovely videos of your grandmother and Ecuador and your storytelling style. So I just want to invite people to visit her website to just travel to a different part of the world. It was really refreshing. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
And so interesting enough, in visiting, I saw images of like transgender people. I mean, there was all kinds of colorful photos. So how do you pick your subjects?
I'm always, photography is a labor of love, and I've noticed I want to photograph other people's labors of loves. And so even that's in wrestling or in the drag community, I've always been passionate about photographing other people's passions, but also kind of exploring the elements of storytelling and trying to get all of the whole story told, if that makes sense. You know, I feel like sometimes stories have a one-way tone to it, and I feel like there's so many layers to it that doesn't get explored.
Okay, so why the Bronx Wrestling Federation?
It's
just unusual, like it's a woman, right, capturing this, and you know, it looks fun. It looks very interesting, and I'm happy to see that it's progressing here in the Bronx. I see it's really growing.
For 9 years. It's gonna the why Bronx Wrestling. Growing up, watched WWE religiously with my grandfather. He actually was in attendance for the first WrestleMania, so it's kind of been in my blood. This like wrestling fandom, and growing up, I've always was fascinated with the indie scene of wrestling. But for me, it only occurred in the Midwest. It wasn't existent 10 blocks away from me. And so I kind of stumbled upon this scene and was seeing other Bronx kids committing themselves to this lifestyle. And I kind of saw myself in them, not as a wrestler, but as someone passionate about something where the odds are against them. And I kind of just like fell in love with the scene and like became friends with everyone.
I want to see some of these images. Can we show some of these images so we can talk about them? Because is it true that some of these, look at this. So, and I also noticed that your images are in black and white. Any particular reason?
I feel black and white kind of focuses the viewer's eye to like what's happening. Also, the lighting isn't so great, and I use a flash.
The lighting isn't so great. Is this actually held in the basement of a church?
St. Helena's in
It
Park.
is, right? I'm like, wait a minute. In my career, I just want to make sure. I'm like, I thought this was interesting that a church would actually host these wrestling matches. Okay, and so we're looking at.
This is Guacho's gym in Grand Concourse, the legendary basketball gym. And these are actually wrestlers from Mexico. They actually were able to bring authentic luchadores to the Bronx.
Yeah, no, they love that lucha.
The flying and everything.
And so is that okay? So we got a taste of,
a little taste
the imagery.
of.
Well, it's lovely though, because it's not just about the wrestling. You're actually capturing this essence of just this particular time in which that field is enhancing here in the Bronx. And so based on what you shared, they're floating around. So what are some of the venues that host these wrestling matches?
The most prominent venue is Daro's Gym on near Elder Avenue by the 6. It's the location of the only wrestling school in the Bronx Wrestling Federation. And they host a show the first Saturday of every month. So that's the most consistent shows. There's companies like Bree Combination Wrestling that host at St. Helena's. And then there's Mass Entertainment who does the authentic luchadores in Guacho's gym. Those are like the 3 main spots. I hear on the streets there's a 4th spot, so I haven't been there yet, but I'm gonna.
But aren't you the official photographer?
Well, I think it's new, so I feel like I have a friend of a friend who told me, so I'm like.
Oh my gosh, that's all that. You got to know who's who
I
in
got
the wrestling, what is that? It's like its own federation, right?
Yeah, subculture, scene. It's really a big community. Like everyone knows each other, and the wrestling community expands outside of the Bronx too. Like federations, I mean, the wrestling scene just in New York is massive, but the Bronx one is kind of like the underdog in it, and that's also why I feel for it too. Like I have like, you know, other brands are like, oh, well, the Bronx wrestling scene's meh, and I was like, no, you're just a hater. Like,
Right. Well, at least you're documenting it. So I see you have another show coming up, right? And rather, it's not your show, but you're capturing it. So it is kind of your show too. Are you exhibited anywhere?
I'm not. My Bronx wrestling hasn't been exhibited yet. We're hoping to get that done in 2020. I am having a show on November 1st at the Clemente with my Ecuadorian photographs.
Cool.
Which also falls on my 21st birthday. So.
Oh, nice. 21-21.
21-21.
Nice. Blessings. Happy birthday.
Thank you. So that's my show as a photographer. But this wrestling show is really important because it's the 9th anniversary for the Bronx Wrestling Federation, kind of showing the history and legacy so far that's been like existing here.
So this 9th anniversary show is Fort Apache?
Yeah. It's going to be a steel cage match.
A steel cage match?
Like Hell in the Cell,
oh.
Halloween Havoc. It's going to be hardcore. I'm really scared.
You're scared?
I'm going to be in the
I know. Oh, my gosh. Do you ever get blood on your camera?
No, not yet.
No?
Not yet.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, the cage.
I've dodged bodies. I've actually like learned the skill to have like a spidey sense where I can feel a wrestler. I'm like, oh, he's gonna dive. Gotta jump. Gotta like. I've developed a sixth sense in this project.
Well, look at you. Good for you. I'm checking out all your Halloween decorations here. Thank you for joining the party. What you got there?
I have my Hulk Hogan shirt. Very
of course.
fitting.
Wait, I don't know if the cameras can see that. Open it. Yeah.
My Hulk Hogan.
I remember Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan. I have some roller derby pins. I'm a big roller derby fan, and some wrestling pins as well to sort of balance the aesthetics.
Well, I want to thank you for bringing this reminiscence of your time with your grandfather, because guess what? I used to do it with my grandfather too. I used to watch wrestling when there was paper cut people.
Oh my
God.
God.
You remember that? You remember that? You see? I know. But it's awesome that you're documenting our wrestlers here in the Bronx. Thank you for coming here and bringing it to our audience. I'm going to make sure everybody knows that Sophie's going to be taking pictures at the 9th anniversary show for the Bronx Wrestling Federation, and that's taking place on Saturday, November 2nd, and the address is 1123 Close Avenue. And for more info on Sofie Vasquez Photography, you can visit SofieVasquez.com/Squarespace. All right, we're taking a quick break, but when we return, we'll get the details behind the 2nd annual Concourse Film Festival in the Bronx. Don't go anywhere.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Hey, welcome back to Open, everyone. So the Concourse Film Festival is holding its second annual event filled with films, commercials, music videos, and that's all for you people to get out and enjoy. The event gives filmmakers and visual artists a platform to showcase their work while sharing their creativity of chosen genres. And here now to tell us more about the Concourse Film Festival, we welcome founder Luis Macho Miranda. Oh my goodness, your last name is Macho. I'm like, oh, you're gonna do wrestling too? No, I'm just kidding. I got a little caught up in the segment prior to this one.
Well, I'm super happy to be here. Thank you, Rhina, for having me. No, Macho is actually a family name that's
I love it.
stuck and
Yeah.
can't get rid of it.
It's one of those,
Yeah.
well, I don't know, you're Puerto Rican. I know it's one of those
am.
Latino, yeah, you're Puerto Rican,
Mhm,
yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, most Puerto Rican boys, you know, because some machito, it's like, oh, macho.
Well, the way that I got my name was actually pretty embarrassing. So you know how if
You
the
gonna
belly's,
share?
yeah.
Okay.
You know how the belly's either high or low, they'll say is it a boy or girl.
Uh-huh.
Everybody thought it was gonna be a girl. My granddad was the only one who's like, that's my machito, he's gonna be a boy. And hence,
Hence macho.
Yes.
Grandpa. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
yeah.
it's a grandpa theme today. How lovely.
is.
How lovely. Well, congratulations to you on your second annual film festival.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're like super excited to, well, this year we're super happy, super proud that the majority of the films that we're gonna be playing are from Bronx filmmakers. So with the exception of maybe like 2 films, but for us it's really important because I guess the point of the festival is really to give a platform for Bronx filmmakers.
Right, because it's actually opened. It's open to filmmakers as in general,
Mhm,
right?
yeah.
So let's talk about that process, just in case we have some filmmakers interested in submitting.
Well, first let me explain that the Concourse Film Festival is actually part of a mother company called the Concourse Art Foundation.
Right.
Now, the Concourse Art Foundation is a community-based nonprofit organization where we have 2 different missions, right? One of them is to give platforms for different artists. So we hold a different festival every month.
Right.
Each festival is geared towards a different artistry. So it'll be film festival, comedy festival, food festival, fashion festival.
So every single month for the entire year.
Mhm.
So 2020's calendar's already planned out.
Yes. So what we've been doing is adding, every year we'll add another festival or 2. So next year we'll add the fashion festival and then the food festival.
And so that's every single month. That's a lot of festivals. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, yeah.
It's lovely, though. It's lovely. And then yours is like a culmination of all of them together?
No, not necessarily together.
Okay.
So each festival will kind of live on its own. So each festival will kind of have his own life, his own crowd, his own like following. And then the goal would be the 11 festivals, and then the 12th would be the culmination, the best of all the other festivals, all in one big, huge show. And yeah, we'll have an award ceremony. We'll give out the grand award, grand concourse, right? People could say they want a Grandy.
I like that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like that.
Okay.
A Grandy from the Grand Concourse, from the Concourse Film Festival. A Grandy, oh, I love that. I love that concept.
Now, the second part
Is
of
the
our
festival on the Grand Concourse?
not as
Not yet.
We've been doing it at the point so far because
Right.
they've been so gracious to let us use their facility and their theater. So we're super grateful
Right,
for
we
that.
love the point. Yes.
Mhm. They're great. They're great.
It's a great venue too.
Soon, eventually, we'll grow
Expand.
to exactly.
Yeah, into the concourse because you're a film festival. Well, you're not just a film festival. You're just a media festival, right?
Yeah.
Because you do all types of
Well,
media.
the film festival is a film festival,
It's a film
and then the
festival.
comedy festival is a comedy festival. Yeah.
Right,
So
but
like,
it's all within that same. All right, so break that down to me because we already spoke about every single month, right? And then now we're coming to your festival, which is taking place next week, right? It's 2 days.
Yes.
Right. So tell me what those 2 days look like. So-
Well, next week it will be Friday, November 1st from 6 to 10, and then Saturday, November 2nd from 2 to 8. So we'll be showing a few films on Friday, a few feature films, a few short films, and then Saturday, the same. So both days are kind of a little different. We'll have different music acts and stuff like that. We'll have different vendors and yeah, we involve local vendors, local businesses to come in and kind of lend themselves to us.
Right,
and the
right.
community. Yep,
Just to come together in community to establish this film festival that's running its second year. And so these features, they're like full-length features, and you have you're featuring them back to back. Like it's so.
So we have blocks. So Friday is just one full block. So we're showing like 4 films on Friday, and then Saturday it's a few more. The majority of the films, like I said before, are from Bronx filmmakers.
Right.
And
so how do people choose though? Like, do they go to a website and pick up, buy a pass, or do they just buy a ticket for each individual film? Like, how does that work?
Well, we have tickets for Friday and then tickets for Saturday.
Okay.
So yeah, you go to you could go to our website, cafnyc.org, or they can go to ticketbud.com / Concourse Film Fest and find us there.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And I just want to just shout out your wardrobe, right? Let me guess what you're dressed as. You look like you're dressed like this urban founder of a film festival.
Yeah, well, I was trying to be a cool guy, but.
A cool guy?
I don't know.
Well, urban hip hop.
Hey.
All right.
Well, thank you so much, Rhina.
Our pleasure. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
The second annual Concourse Film Festival will take place Friday, November 1st from 6 to 10 p.m. and Saturday, November 2nd from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. at The Point, which is located at 940 Garrison Avenue. And for more information, please visit cafnyc.org. Stay tuned. Bobby C's Weekly Sports Roundup is coming up next.
Let's get crazy, Rhina. We don't make mistakes, just happy little accidents here on the show. And no, folks, you're not seeing ghosts. Bob Ross lives here on Open this morning. But Rhina, I will tell you who does see ghosts. New York Jets quarterback Sam Darnold. We go inside the locker room for more.
They were tremendous tonight. They did good on all phases, created turnovers. Tom Brady was being Tom Brady. We just got to be better on defense.
Yeah, I think a little bit of everything, to be quite honest with you. I think they do a good job of keeping you on your toes as a defense. Clearly, I won't speak from our offensive perspective, but as a defense, they did a little bit of everything. I think you saw some reverses, some gadget plays, some lead downhill, some big passes, all of that type of stuff. So they definitely keep you on your toes, and yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can't. You got to call a spade a spade. I mean, it was embarrassing losing like that, but I mean, I'm not going to think about it too much after tomorrow. Watch the film, bite your teeth about it, and then get on to Jacksonville, because you can't really linger on about stuff like this. You got to just wash that out and take it into the next week.
The Jets have gone from seeing ghosts to seeing red. The team is livid with the decision to air a comment from quarterback Sam Darnold during the Monday Night Football broadcast on ESPN that was, he was seeing ghosts. Jets coach Adam Gase said the team will reevaluate their cooperation with having players and coaches mic'd up moving forward. 33-0 loss to the Patriots, one of the worst Jets games ever. Gay said before practice Thursday he expected Darnold to have a limited practice. Darnold did not. The quarterback was a full participant on the team's official injury report. That's good news for Darnold and the Jets after he sat out Wednesday's injury with a toe injury. Starting to lose my beard, folks. Gangrene, Darnold, and the Jets, and the Ghosts, too, actually, are in Jacksonville this Sunday. Kickoff is 1 p.m. Only bright spot for the Jets last Monday night was an awesome pregame and halftime ceremony for newly minted Hall of Famer Kevin Mawai. I'm going to go and paint while we roll this package because, remember, I like to talk to trees and animals, and that's okay. I have more fun than most people. Roll the tape.
2 years ago, I stood before you and had the privilege of being inducted into the New York Jets Ring of Honor. I stand here before you now, recognized as one of the best that ever played the game, and I'm humbled by this opportunity. I'm thankful for God who gave me the opportunity, gave me the talents to do what I did. I'm grateful for my wife, Tracy, who's here with me tonight, who has made this journey with me the whole way. My teammates, some of them were here today. I couldn't have done it without them. And playing here in the Meadowlands, in front of the greatest fans in all the NFL, I want to thank every one of you guys. The Hall of Fame is not an individual accomplishment. It's only done because of the people that come along the way with you. Some of the greatest moments in my life and my football career have been made in the Meadowlands. And I want to thank you, the Gang Green, for welcoming me home. Go Jets!
Congrats to Kevin. In other NFL news, Josh Gordon's time in New England appears to be over as the Patriots plan on waiving the receiver after placing him on IR. In a corresponding move, the Pats have acquired veteran wide receiver Mohamed Sanu from the Atlanta Falcons for a second-round draft pick. The 30-year-old gives the Patriots an inside target, especially on third down, to help take pressure off top receiver Julian Edelman. The 6'2", 210-pound Sanu is in his 8th season and has 33 receptions for 313 yards and 1 touchdown in 2019. Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes was at practice yesterday. This beard is really driving me crazy. For the second time this week, it marked a week since Mahomes' kneecap dislocation against the Denver Broncos in Week 7. After practicing in a limited capacity on Wednesday, Mahomes is back at it again. But a few accounts, he appears to be moving around out there better than he did during his first day back. But that's really incredible, Rhina, You know what's really incredible is how the New York Mets continue to pass on qualified managerial candidates. It makes it worse when your rival grabs the manager you likely should have taken. The Philadelphia Phillies have hired former New York Yankees manager Joe Girardi as their next skipper. The team announced that he receives a 3-year contract with a team option in 2023. Girardi replaces Gabe Kapler, who was fired after 2 disappointing seasons. The Phillies went into last season with high hopes after signing Bryce Harper, but still missed the playoffs, finishing at 81-81 and in 4th place in the National League East. Girardi also interviewed with the Mets, who still have an opening, and the Chicago Cubs, who went with David Ross. The Phillies reportedly also talked to former Major League managers Buck Showalter and Dusty Baker. The Phillies have a new manager. The Yankees are without a center fielder. I guess it's good they aren't playing right now. Yankees center fielder Aaron Hicks will have Tommy John surgery on his throwing elbow next week and is expected to miss 8 to 10 months, Rhina. Yankees general manager Brian Cashman announced Thursday that Hicks will have the operation Wednesday in L.A. Cashman also revealed that ace Masahiro Tanaka recently underwent arthroscopic surgery to have bone spurs removed from his pitching elbow, and that first baseman Luke Voit had surgery to repair a core muscle injury. Tanaka and Voit are expected to be ready for spring training, according to Cashman. The Yankees' expected timeline on Hicks is not as optimistic, who he missed, nearly 2 months near the end of the season with what the team described as a flexor injury near his elbow. The Astros may be good at baseball on the diamond, but they aren't so good at all the other stuff surrounding it, folks. Houston fired Assistant General Manager Brandon Taubman on Thursday, admitting in a statement that his inappropriate comments about the acquisition of closer Roberto Osuna were directed at a group of female reporters. A report published earlier this week by Sports Illustrated's Stephanie Apstein said that during the celebration in the Astros clubhouse after clinching the American League Championship Series on Saturday, Taubman turned to a group of female reporters, including one wearing a purple domestic violence violence awareness bracelet and repeatedly yelled, "Thank God we got Osuna. I'm so expletive glad that we got Osuna." Now, no expletive, it was an actual curse, folks. Last season, Osuna served a 75-game suspension for violating Major League Baseball's domestic violence policy stemming from an incident that happened while he was a member of the Toronto Blue Jays. On to more lighthearted, controversial news. All-time great Michael Jordan doesn't think Steph Curry is a Hall of Famer, at least not yet. Sorry, MJ, I can't agree on this one. I'm going to go with Curry and head coach Steve Kerr. Curry could never set foot on a basketball court again, and he would be a first-ballot Hall of Famer. This isn't even up for debate. He's a 3-time NBA champion. He's a 2-time MVP, one of which came courtesy of the only unanimous vote in league history. He led his team to an NBA record 73 regular season wins. He's won a scoring title. He's a 6-time All-Star and a 6-time All-NBA player. He holds the record for single-season three-pointers made with 402, which is just plain stupid. He's one of 9 players in history to log a 50, 40, 90 shooting season while playing in at least 60 games. Even better, he is one of 3 players in history to go 50, 45, 90 while playing in more than 31 games. You know, MJ, you can paint that on your canvas, buddy. Speaking of Hall of Fame performances, how about New Brooklyn net Kyrie Irving in his return home on Wednesday night? An emotional Kyrie dropped 50 points but stumbled on the game winner. Irving got what he wanted, and it's easy to tell he's happy to be back in the place that he considers home, New York. Sadly, the Nets lost, though, thanks largely to Karl Anthony Towns. Cat took charge for the Timberwolves and finished the night with 36 points and 14 rebounds. Nets lost their opener. So did the Knicks in San Antonio, despite 21 points from first-round pick R.J. Barrett. Knicks-Nets goes down tonight, and Brooklyn, one of these teams, Michael, you know, will earn their first win of the season. Winning come playoff time isn't in the cards for NYCFC in soccer. NYCFC, a team that looked like an MLS contender during the regular season, has found itself out of the playoffs at the conference semifinals. That sentence was true in 2016, 2017, 2018, and was made true in humiliating fashion once again after NYCFC lost to Toronto on Wednesday night, 2-1 loss at Citi Field. In the Octagon, UFC 244 should be a goodie unless Nate Diaz is out, of course. Thankfully, Diaz has not been provisionally suspended by the USADA, the UFC's anti-doping partner, despite an adverse drug test finding that Diaz announced himself Thursday. You know, he told ESPN, or ESPN had sources that said that. Diaz tweeted a statement Thursday afternoon that said he would not be competing against Jorge Masvidal at UFC 244 on November 2nd at Madison Square Garden. Diaz wrote that he was informed he had an adverse drug test finding and said he will not make the trip to New York unless things get figured out. To that, Rhina, Bob Ross says there's nothing wrong with having a friend as a tree. Conor McGregor isn't particularly good at making friends, but he is good at making comebacks. The star fighter announced his comeback date Thursday. The former 2-division UFC champion said at a news conference in Moscow that he will return to the Octagon on January 18th in Las Vegas. McGregor said he knows his opponent, but would not reveal his name because if he did, the UFC would flip it, quote unquote. Sources are saying Conor versus cowboy Donald Cerrone. Let's get crazy. Let's get crazy. The third round of the NASCAR Cup playoffs gets cranked up this weekend at Martinsville Speedway after what can only be described as a scintillating end of the second round at Kansas. There are plenty of storylines to follow heading into the third round, which also includes races at Texas and Phoenix. Kansas winner Danny Hamlin, who's the 3rd seed, has won 5 times this season. He was incredibly consistent in the second round, also finishing 5th at Dover and 3rd at Talladega. He probably wears the mantle of the best driver to never have won the championship. He was close in 2010 when he finished 2nd behind Jimmy Johnson. He's poised to take that next step. He won the Daytona 500 this year. He's had a great year. So has Lewis Hamilton, Rhina. But when does this guy not have a great year? Hamilton inched closer to a 6th world championship with 3rd place at the Japanese Grand Prix. He can wrap it up in Mexico City this Sunday. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list to paint a better picture, yes, a better picture of what's happening in the World Series. The Washington Nationals are dominating the Fall Classic. They lead 2-0. Of the 55 teams to have taken a 2-0 series lead in the World Series, 44 went on to win it. That includes 17 of the last 18. The 1996 Yankees were the last team to come back from a 2-0 deficit. The Nationals batted around 2 innings in a row, turning a 2-2 game into a 9-run rout in Game 2 in Houston. It was a Texas-sized butt-whooping in Houston, a 12-3 thrashing that sends the Astros off for what they hope will be 3 games in D.C., but they need to win at least 1 for that to happen. And if they don't win 2, Wednesday's debacle will have been the last game of the season at Minute Maid Park. Houston finds itself down 2-0. We all know about that 19-31 start by the Nationals. If you throw that out the window, they've gone 84-40, a .677 winning percentage that translates to a 110 win pace over 162 games. Go back to the end of the regular season and they've won 18 of their past 20 games, including a record-tying 8 in a row now in the postseason. The Nationals are red hot, and while we are searching for Carmen Sandiego here this morning, we have found the team that likely will win the World Series. You can argue they have the starting pitcher edge over the Astros the next 2 games starting tonight in D.C. Game 3 lines up as Zach Greinke versus Anibal Sanchez tonight. Greinke hasn't been particularly great this postseason, giving up 10 runs in 14 innings. Over 3 starts, he gave up 5 home runs over his first 2 outings, and while he escaped with only 1 run in 4 1/3 innings against the Yankees, he also walked 4 batters. Sanchez, meanwhile, will have a 2-week layoff since taking a no-hitter into the 8th inning in Game 1 of the National League Championship Series against the St. Louis Cardinals. Patrick Corbin should line up to face Houston's bullpen in Game 4. That's not necessarily the worst thing for the Astros as they have a deep bullpen. Still, Corbin went 14-7 with a 3.25 ERA in the regular season. He's one of the best lefties in the game. You'll take that over a bullpen day any day. So on behalf of this whole crew here, I'd like to wish you happy painting, a happy Halloween, and congrats to the Nationals for doing what the Yankees could not do. Bob Ross, signing off. Stay tuned.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I bought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Hey, welcome back to Open, everyone. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Well, now we have arrived to magical China. Huh? The suspense, of magic is, it's filled with many surprises of wonder, right? And so we suggest you keep your eyes focused because our last guest is a magician who uses everything around him to create a magical experience. And after gaining a love for the art of magic at the age of 17, he's performed throughout New York City, and he's now here to give us a magical experience. Please welcome Magician Benjamin Mei. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm fabulous.
That's good to hear.
Welcome.
Okay, I'd love to show you something, Rhina.
Oh.
Rhina, do you see something?
I see nada.
That's good. But with a little imagination, you can make from something from nothing.
Ah.
Right? You pull it off, throw it back on.
Oh,
Rhina,
my.
I want you to check out the ring. Make sure it's real, not figment of my imagination.
Okay. Let's see. No, it's a real ring. This is a real ring.
That's good. And then I just want to thank you for having me on the show by giving you a rose.
Oh.
Now, Rhina, there's 7.7 billion people on this planet. And though we all share the same form, we're all different individuals. Rhina, do you have someone important in your life?
I have a few important people in my life.
Name one of them.
Her name is Charm Viva.
Charm Viva. Who is she?
She is my daughter.
Beautiful. Now, these type of relationships leave lifelong impressions on us. It's not like you can unmeet your daughter, right?
Right.
Okay. I want you to, and I'm gonna show this connection through a piece of magic. Touch one card, Rhina.
Any card?
Yeah, just touch.
Just touch a card. Okay.
That's one. One more. There we go. Now, Rhina, I'm gonna have you help me out a little bit.
Okay.
Take this, and you're gonna uncap it. You're gonna help me sign right there.
I'm gonna sign
Yep,
my name?
The 4 of spades, yep, your name. Now, Rhina, I want you to think about your daughter. Think about her deeply.
Okay.
And I want to imagine she's here, and I want you to sign her name here too.
Okay, we're gonna sign Charm Viva's name.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Charm Viva.
Okay. You can tap it. Okay. Put the rose here. Hold up your hand.
He's like, let go of the rose.
You can hold out your hand.
Okay. Should I take my gloves off?
It's okay. You can leave it on.
Yeah. I'm gonna take it off.
Okay.
Just because I don't want them to slip.
Put your other hand on top.
Okay, so I'm gonna take this. Okay.
Put your other hand on top.
Put the other hand on top.
To make 2, 1, first, pull the ink off. Right?
Uh-huh.
Next comes the whole card. Watch.
Oh gosh. Oh my goodness.
Now open your hand.
I'm glad I took my glove off.
You'll see that 2 becomes 1.
Uh-huh.
Turn over.
Oh wow. Oh my. Wow. That's impressive. That's impressive, people. I'm right here next to him, and I did not see any of this happen. That's the beauty of magic, right?
It is. Touches here.
Uh-huh.
So let me show you something interesting. The beauty of magic is when you look at any object, you could just think about it creatively. Like, see a dollar bill? You fold it in half. Now it looks like what? It looks like a caterpillar. And you kind of have it walking along the ground.
Cute. Walking money.
Yeah. What's better than walking money than transforming money? Watch.
Oh my goodness.
Watch it breathe.
It's breathing. It has life. Is it gonna fly?
Into your hand.
Into my hands. Oh. Oh my gosh. A man after my own heart. Flour and money. Why, thank you, Ben.
You're welcome.
You are
Anytime.
welcomed here anytime. You guys, thank you, Ben Mei. Once again, to book Ben Mei, you can go to benjaminmei.com and follow him at Benjamin Mei. And that is our show today, mi gente. Thanks to all our guests for coming through, to you, our viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of the show, you can check out the recablecast tonight and 24 hours a day at bronxnet.tv. I'm Rhina Valentin, aka Carmen San Diego, and from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide paz, prosperity, y amor. Adios. And on behalf of all of us, make sure to have a safe, first and foremost, and happy Halloween.